Russia is gearing up right now to host what promises to be the most widely viewed sporting event of the year, the 2018 FIFA World Cup. And Russia's hosting of this very prestigious event is worth keeping a close eye on because it gives President Vladimir Putin the chance to score his own goals, both within Russia and in the world arena. Several chapters of recent history show that for Moscow, international sporting events have often marched arm in arm with war. The first came back in 1979. Moscow was preparing to host the Olympic Games for the first time in history, and so the eyes of the world were on the Soviet Union, and Russian pride was swelling. And then, in that climate of swelling pride, the Russians invaded Afghanistan, sending tens of thousands of troops into the country. The next example came 8 years into Putin's reign. At that time, Russia's national soccer team unexpectedly defeated the Netherlands, and this victory was no small event. It meant that Russia had entered into the semifinals of the 2008 European Championship, and it prompted the largest spontaneous street celebrations Moscow had seen since the celebrations in 1945 at the end of World War II. 6 weeks later, Russian forces invaded the former Soviet Republic of Georgia. Most recently, in February of 2014, Russia hosted the Olympics once again. And Vladimir Putin spared no expense to make them a dazzling display that would demonstrate to the world that Russia was great again. The Sochi Games ended on February 23rd of 2014, and 4 days later, unmarked Russian troops took over key sites across Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula. Within a few weeks, Russia had officially annexed Crimea. Arkady Ostrovsky is the Russia editor for The Economist, and he says because of the way sporting events and war have often gone hand in hand for Russia, the eyes of the world will be locked on Moscow in the lead up to the World Cup. Analysts say that at the very least, Putin will be able to use the World Cup to further tighten his grip on power within Russia, especially since the event comes just a few months after Russia's presidential election. But whether Putin uses the cup only to further his domestic goals or to pursue his geopolitical ambitions, it will be important to watch the game around the game. The Trumpet believes that Putin's tightening grip on Russian power and his drive to restore Russia's glory is important to watch because it is fulfilling Bible prophecy. Ezekiel chapter 38 discusses a prince of Rosh, or Russia, who will lead an immensely powerful bloc of Asian nations in the end time. Trumpet editor-in-chief Gerald Flurry explained in September of 2014 that this passage in Ezekiel is describing Vladimir Putin. To understand more about the major role that Vladimir Putin will play in end-time prophecy, please order a free copy of Mr. Flurry's booklet, The Prophesied Prince of Russia.